There we go. Hello, happy Monday, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Let me get my little chat going back over here. Woo! I am so glad last week is done. Last week, did anybody else have a crazy week last week? Because my week last week was monstrous. Was it monstrous for you too, Bougie? Was it? Yeah. Yeah, he agrees. Oh, goodness. Welcome. I am Danny Ackerman. I am the niche lady. And this is my co-host, Bougie, who's not being very professional, giving you that end right now. Turn around and face the folks. Let's get with the show here. What are you doing? You're just being silly. Yes, you are. Yes, turn around. Come on. Oh, he's just going to be silly bird. All right, everybody. Happy Monday. Today's show is I get a lot of questions, a lot of questions. And I thought I'm just going to leave the topic open to ask me anything. There are questions about my new thrift store I'm opening. There's questions about eBay. There's questions about shipping. There's questions about my personal life. I'm open to anything today. I mean, if you get too personal, obviously I'm not going to answer, but we've got so many people in town for the Boss Reseller Remix today. I'm super excited. Kicking it off tonight with a meet and greet. If you are local, let me just say, I might get in trouble for saying this. If you are local, there is a meet and greet that is you could go in. The bar it's being held at is open to the public. So just saying. The schedule is over on the bossresellerremix.com website for any and all activities if you are in town. And so tonight is when it all begins. I'm actually next year, when I'm planning this out, I'm going to try to free up the weekend ahead of time because so many people came into town and I have been like so busy trying to get videos all edited and ready for the week where I'm going to be at the conference. I didn't have any time to go do anything with anybody other than that. And then a lot of people go home on Friday when I'm like, okay, now I'm free. I can go do stuff on Friday. But then everybody's going home. So if you're not going home on Friday and you're around, let's figure something out. I love to go thrifting with people that are visiting my city and such. So always let me know. I will do my best. All right. I'm going to try to keep track of these questions. And if my awesome moderators could also help me keep track of the questions so that I don't miss anyone. Because I kind of have to I have to scroll back and find questions. And then I have to go to the bottom of the chat and so I could miss something. Hello, how are you? And if for anybody who didn't realize it now, Bougie flies now. Bougie's a flyer. Yeah, okay. You can stay there as long as you behave yourself, okay? All right. Yeah. What are you eating? What are you doing? Like dropping your bird seed on my shoulder. Why? He likes to dance. What are you dropping all over me? You're making a mess. Stop. Goodness. Oh, okay. I have a shirt you can chew on. That's fantastic. All right. Let me see if I can find some questions. Some of you may have noticed that my Whatnot sale has been pushed to 4 o'clock today. I usually do them at 3 o'clock Pacific time. I did move it to 4 o'clock. And the reason for that is that Jordan's flight gets in at 2. And so I need time to get her and get settled and get back home and then do the sale. I haven't even gotten anything loaded in the little store yet, so it might be going on the fly, but I've got some really cool little collectibles, some porcelain, some glass, some trinkety trinks, the stuff that I buy. Okay, I'm really gonna, okay. Go back. Go back. Go back. He's like, I don't want to fly. I want you to put me over there. He talks back too. Very bad. Yeah, I'm wearing bougie blue today too. Yes. It is my favorite color. Somebody says, bougie, what is it like to be a movie star? He could care less. He says, just feed me and I'm happy. Yeah. So we are streaming both on Facebook and YouTube. So I'll have questions coming in from both. Okay. Great question. I am getting a lot of questions about the new store. So Rebecca is down there as we speak. I think there's painting going on. There's an electrician. And let's see, they're fixing the roof. And we're getting it deep cleaned. All of that is happening today. And so Rebecca is down there managing all of that. While we're here getting out your live sale invoices and packaging up those and getting those out the door and getting ready for a whatnot sale and doing this. So it's quite the day. It's quite the day. So the way the new store is going to work is this. It is a thrift store, a traditional thrift store, just as any thrift store that you would walk into where the goods are all donated. What we have done is, because I don't have my nonprofit in place yet, so we have partnered. Right now we have 4 different nonprofits. As soon as I get those contracts signed and into me, I'll be announcing who they are. But I can tell you there's a dog rescue, there's a horse rescue, there is a nonprofit that works with kids with cancer, and I forget what the 4th one is. My bad. And then of course the Niche Foundation will be another one. And those nonprofits are who will be driving the goods into the store. They will be bringing in all of the donated stuff and the merchandise, just like it comes into any other thrift store that you go to. Goodwill, it's all donated, right? So same thing. We're just going to have donations coming through the door. We're going to process them in. We're going to price them. We're going to get them on the shelves. We're going to run the store. And in return, we split with the nonprofits. So we get our expenses covered and they get money for their missions. So that is how the store is going to work. So I will not be pulling all the good stuff, off the shelves, because that would not be very smart of me, would it? So there will be lots and lots of really good stuff at good prices, because I know the prices my reselling friends need to purchase things at. So never fear. I will take care of you if you are going to be shopping with me. But we'll also be doing live thrifting. We'll probably be adding more whatnot sales. We'll be doing different things because we want to help all of these nonprofits make as much money as possible as well. So be watching for all of that. And then the other thing is that there are 5 rooms. So this building used to be a church. And because the building used to be a church, there are some office spaces. And so we are going to rent out those spaces to some of your favorite people. Carrie's going to have a room with her goods. Thrifting Vegas, Tiffany's going to have a room with her goods. Harleen and William and her husband, Gary, who drove me around this weekend yard sailing, are going to have a room. They're also going to help me with my video production because that's what their main business is. And so those are going to be our boutique rooms, more like the dealers in those rooms will be in charge of how they price things and do things. So, but there will be live shopping opportunities through that as well. But the main crux to the store is a thrift store, and you will be able to come in and shop just like you would any other thrift store. So I hope that clears that up. I got an eBay question here. Do you promote on eBay? If so, how much? No, I do not. So what you have to back up and understand is, why did eBay do promoted listings in the first place? We all know eBay has millions of sellers, which means many, many millions of goods for sale. And so coming up in the algorithm can be tricky sometimes, but I am more about giving your item something that sets it apart from perhaps the sellers who don't know how to write a good title, who don't know how to take those great pictures, and don't know how to get that item in front of people with other ways of marketing. So for me, I'm not a big advocate, because it's giving eBay more money that you may or may not need to be giving them in order for your item to be seen. So even for those of you who are going to use promoted listings, I fully encourage you, test the item without it being promoted first. Give it a chance to sell without paying extra to eBay. And, I'm more a fan of, if something sits for a few months, then put it in a markdown category. Do other types of marketing other than just giving eBay more money, which may or may not work. And because we don't have any control over when somebody comes in on that link, literally you could have, like, say, a 5% promotion, and you let it kind of go, and then you lower the price on the item. But if somebody came through the link back when you had the higher price, you're going to pay that 5% on the higher price, not your markdown price. So you got to be aware of some of those things with promoted listings. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of spending any more money in this business than has to be spent. How is your scorpion situation going? We're feeling finally comfortable in the house. I walk across the floors barefoot now. We have not found a live one in the house in weeks. Knock on wood. We with the thanks of, and I want to give a big shout out to Rosie's Closet. Her husband, Angel, has been my angel in helping us with the problem, and we've got it under control. And Noah goes out and sprays as needed, and we've pretty much got him knocked down. Still fighting with the landlords about trimming the trees. I don't understand it. I don't understand what is going on with landlords these days. I really thought this would be different, and it's just back into another landlord situation because they don't want to spend any money. But I mean, it's your property. You have to spend money. I mean, I'm looking out at palm trees that obviously have not been trimmed for over a year. And that's a regular maintenance of a property when you have a property with palm trees. Noah is texting me right now, that boy. So yeah, and they didn't cut the branches off of the house. They're still touching and overhanging the roof. And so I'm literally going to be talking to an attorney, I guess. Because this isn't about the trees being pretty. It is about keeping the scorpions out of the house. Yeah, a little crazy making. Let's see. Do you talk out loud in the stores when you do videos in front of people? I feel so weird. I do. Yeah. So, and I get some comments, especially the last couple stores I did. If it's a small store, I talk softly, and I have my microphones right there. So for the most part, it picks up just fine. But sometimes I get a little too quiet, and I notice that. But like at the Goodwill and stuff, I just talk as if I got somebody standing right next to me. Do I get weird looks? Yep. You know what I've learned? And believe me, I get it. I don't want to be that person, that was called out for being weird or different, that's how I grew up. I got called names. I got bullied. I mean, I was buck-toothed with crazy permed hair with a cowlick that stuck out, and I was skinny as a rail. I got teased unmercifully in my school years, and I've worked really hard to get to a point, and I'm not completely there. The comments still affect me sometimes, but I've gotten to a point where I just want to be me. I just want to be me, and those who accept and love me for me are the people I know I want to be around, and those that don't, I can let them go. Like, go somewhere else. And it's still an evolving thing in my life. But the reward for just taking risks and putting yourself out there and just doing things is so great that it's totally been worth it. Totally been worth it. What should every eBay store have set up? So Ellen's in my full access membership, and we've been going over some of these things. So I love this question. I also got asked the question over on my Facebook group, my Niche to Profit group. And basically, if you're just even thinking of going into reselling, there are certain things that you must have. You must have a scale, and you must have a way to take good pictures. So if you have an old camera and it takes great pictures, great. But if it doesn't take great pictures, then that's no bueno. You've got to have great pictures. You're going to need some packing supplies, but a lot of those you can start off with for free. USPS priority boxes, they're free. You can like find a place that is stocking overnight, a store or something, and find the right time to go in there and say, could I take some of your small boxes, like for first class stuff? And most of them are more than willing to let you take those away. So just getting the supply. Let's see, are we back? Okay, so my internet cable company was out this morning. There's a problem out at the street with the signal coming in. So it's probably going to do that more than once now that it's begun. And it's extremely frustrating, but sometimes we have to live with it. So I hope that answers that question. Why did you choose that corner for the thrift store? That corner. Did I show the corner? Did I show? I kind of did. Yeah. I didn't give the address out yet. So basically, I've been looking for a commercial space since March of this year, and I've picked out several. So when looking at a location, of course, the price is very important, how turnkey it is, how ready it is to get the doors open. I looked at the parking situation. I looked at the neighborhood demographics. You know, are there people around there that are going to want to come to a thrift store? I took all those things into consideration. And of course, I would have loved for it to have been a little closer to my house, but it's close enough and doable. But those are pretty much why we chose the place that we've chosen. I'll be revealing where it is soon. Where is your niche lady writing? Oh, you mean my letters on the wall? I'm really rethinking what I'm going to do with the wall. Once I convert over to doing my live sales from the building, then I can decorate this wall. But right now, while I'm doing live sales from here, it just makes it easier on the camera if there's not a lot of busyness behind me. So that's why I haven't redecorated the wall yet. And I'll probably put the letters down at the store in my little filming space I'm going to have. All right. I am looking for, yeah, I'm looking for questions. I don't want to get too far behind. We're not giving out the address yet, just because I don't want people showing up and you know, we're just not ready. We're not ready for traffic yet. Here we go. Thinking about selling on Whatnot. How does it work? So Whatnot is an online auction platform. It is video. So you basically, you set up a sale. First, you have to get approved. So I recommend you use my link, which Melissa will post over there in the chat. Use my link to become a seller. And the easiest category to get into right now is estate sale. kind of categories. Clothing's a little tough. Jewelry's a little tough. Be careful about going into those categories right now. But then they onboard you. There's how-to videos and how to run all the technical end of things. But then get on there and do your stuff. And you're going to have to build a following. But social media is great for that. Have great stuff, do giveaways, all that kind of stuff. But Whatnot's pretty easy once you get going and you see how it works, because they do all of they run you push a button and the auction runs, and then people pay immediately. And then you've just got like packing slips and labels to print out and ship the stuff off. So I love it for that reason. I love it. I have a sale today. I did bump the time to 4 o'clock. As I said, 4 o'clock will be the time today because Jordan's flying in. Question. I purchased a cobalt blue cut to clear glass basket. It's a beautiful piece. $1 fine. My question is, eBay has prices all over the place. How do you determine where you put your set price? I tell you my process. I first identify what I have. So once I've identified what I have, I do a search on eBay and I sort by highest first. So I want to see the highest ones both actively listed, and then I look over at solds. And I always price in the top 10 percentile of what things have sold for. And so it doesn't matter if somebody sold it cheaper. I kind of tune that out. Once I see it's been selling up at a range, I'm like, okay, well, there's another buyer who's going to buy it at that range. So that's where I price, because you can always go down on price. You can never go back up once it sells too quick. Am I going? Oh, I'm going to the meet and greet. Tiffany, are you going to the meet and greet? There's a lot of people going to be at that meet and greet. Which is best, single dishes or sets of 2 or more? It depends. So there are some dishes where a single piece is worth listing separately. So it just depends on like, what is your margin? What's the word I'm looking for? Some people are okay with a $5 margin, but some people want a $50 margin. I'm just giving that big gap, and everything in between. So you have to decide, what is it worth it for me to sell this? And if it doesn't sell for enough as a single, then you can add 2 or 3 or 4 together. It's all about what margin, what selling price I'm going to get for the item. What do you think of live auctions on a platform, eBay Posh? It seems like people make much less on their items due to the set time for the auctions per item. So it's really interesting, this trend we're seeing. Everything is kind of moving towards video selling. And we have to pay attention to that, okay? Because it is a trend. And some trends stick around and take hold, and that's the way things become. But some things are just a trend that goes, yeah, that didn't work so good. So you're right. Whatnot right now is I'm getting lower prices on Whatnot than I would on eBay or even my own live sales here on YouTube. And I have to be paying attention to that. But then there is the factor of, you get on there and you can sell these 20 items in an hour and make X amount of dollars, even though it's not quite as much as you would have made over here. You made it quickly. We call that the quick nickel versus the slow dime, as they would say in the auction world. So you have to decide what's best for you, how to utilize those auctions. I know Poshmark is doing it, so maybe it's items that you've had sitting for a while. Now it's time to move them. It is an absolutely fantastic way to liquidate items that have been sitting. It's a great way to liquidate items that are sitting in a death pile that you're like, I am never going to get to, like taking pictures and getting that listed. Move it quickly. So it's a move it quickly mindset around the video selling versus the list it and wait for it to sell kind of mentality. But I think it could be here to stay because people like, fast-paced. It's just, everything is faster and faster and instant gratification and that kind of a thing. So as more buyers come on, we'll see, a balancing out of more demand, which means more money in the selling end of it. All right. Did I go to Brimfield? No, I have never been to Brimfield. I want to go to Brimfield. When you film, do you feel worse talking out loud in front of shoppers? I kind of already answered that one. We all need a Carrie and Rebecca. Yes, you do. But you can't have mine. Are sales slow, actually non-existent on eBay for everyone or just me? So, there is a lot more competition than there ever has been on eBay and other platforms, and you have to keep that in mind. So you have to do things to push your traffic. You have to do things to make yourself stand out, just like in any other business. And I talk about this a lot in the membership. That's what the membership's for, guys. If you need help getting those sales coming in, getting the traffic through the door, figuring out your shipping problems, I have made that help available to you. Just check out the perks in the Niche Nation membership and we can help you with that. But not everybody is slow. There are people getting sales. So there's so many factors that go into how to get sales. But the number one thing I would say, Sunny World, is list every day and take really great pictures. Like those are like the two things right off the top of the head that can make a big difference. Yes, I have thrifted at the Habitat Restore and never really found much there. There's a lot of furniture and like just fixtures and stuff. Yeah. Will you be live shopping at Yermo while Jordan is there? We are going to try. So when I drive back to San Diego next week, yes, we want to time it to be able to go to the Yermo store. Yes, indeed. All right. I am so behind, you guys. This is the hard part about saying ask me anything, because I want to get to everything and I'm probably not going to be able to. Dixie asks, is there any restriction on how many items I can sell on eBay before I have to become a business owner? Being a business owner is right here. This is what makes the decision to be a business owner. Whether you have one thing listed or 10 things or 1,000 things, it's a mindset to say that this is my business. This is how I'm going to structure it. And this is how I'm going to grow it. So you're a business owner when you are ready to be a business owner. Now, as far as eBay is concerned, they're going to put restrictions to make sure that you're not somebody coming in that's just, taking people's money and not delivering. So the best advice I can give to a new seller is find like 10 things that are like no brainers to sell quickly. Even if it's at a little bit of like a loss leader kind of a thing, sell 10 things and get them delivered quickly. You will see your restrictions being lifted very quickly. That's all they want to see, is that you're like a real person. Oh my goodness. Let me see. Let me find another question. I have this really bad feeling that this chat is just like going to skip on me and I'm going to lose my place. Okay. What at a minimum should an eBay store have set up? Oh, I already answered that one. I got you. That's right. Sunny Las Vegas. Going to be there to help with security. We got it covered. Oh, and Noah's going to be the cashier. And Rachel's going to be working something too. She's probably going to be doing processing and things, helping with, I don't know. She's going to do something. She's going to have an art corner too. Is it better, worth the extra money to have an eBay store or just focus on my listing to get started? So I talk about this a lot, Lisa. Again, it goes back to that mentality of where do I want this to go? Do I want to look professional? Do I want to have a marketing edge? Do I want people to be easily be able to find my store? Then a store it is. And there's a starter store for $5 a month where you can start setting up your branding, your categories, all the things that you need as you get bigger and then need the bigger store. So yeah, I'm a really, really, really big fan of having that store. In your new thrift store, when there is a sale, how do you record and distribute the proceeds among the 4 nonprofits? So Marcia, so we've invested in a really, really good point of sale and tagging system. It's actually the same one that Goodwill uses. So each store will have their own color on, or I don't know if we're going to do color or a code, but they'll be identified on when it's rung up in the register. It'll be identified as coming from that nonprofit, so that at the end of the day, we can do a report and see how much we sold for each nonprofit, and then we'll be giving them the money. That's how we'll do it. But we got a really, really good system in place to keep track of that. And we will have loyalty programs. We will have colors and do sales on colors and all the things that you're used to in a thrift store. And it's going to be fun. Good question. That 30 cents, if you're, so at the very beginning, it is 30 cents a listing, but that is every month. So every time it renews, it's 30 cents. But you get quite a few 0 insertion free listings to begin with. So you shouldn't have a listing fee until you've gone over, like, was it 250 items I think they give you now? So yeah. Did I get the pool crack fixed? I don't know what pool crack you're referring to. I'm not a reseller, but am always supporting my peeps who are. How does a non-reseller find out if picked up items are vintage or not? I found a lot of paperweights and have no clue. So you got to just research them. Sometimes with like glass and ceramics, you can look at the bottom and see. I don't have anything around me once. Wait a minute. Do I have something over here? I don't really have anything over here. Don't. Well, let's see. Like a bluebird of happiness. So you're going to see, and it's going to be hard to see in here, but there's little micro scratches in glass that you can see on the bottom. That comes from age, some discoloration and maybe crazing and things happens with pottery and porcelain. So there's signs of age. Sometimes if it says it's made in a certain place, like made in Japan, made in Taiwan, made in Hong Kong, those are most likely vintage, because most things that we see now are made in China, sadly. But yeah, it's pretty much just researching and learning. Marty says, we rent and have to trim our own trees, except in my lease, the landscaping is included in the lease, and it's written in there that they're in charge of the landscaping. Yeah. I'm pretty sure trees are landscaping. All right. I'm so far behind you guys. Da, da, da. I would love to own, but I gotta get myself to that point. Not ready yet. Not ready yet. Let's see. Sorry, guys. I need to call my listings. How do I decide which items should go? Time listed, number of views or watchers. Thanks in advance. So what I do is if an item has been listed more than 3 months, I put it into, I have 2 store categories. Actually, it's 1 store category with 2 subcategories, 25% off, 50% off, and it's special values. It's like having a clearance section in any store that you walk into. So you get 2 store categories per item. So the second store category can be that clearance category. Then you can run a markdown sale on just that category. So you always have some cool stuff on sale for people. But that's how I keep that stuff moving. You don't want to cull listings too often, And if you're doing that, if you're finding that there's a lot of stuff you want to get rid of out of your store, but you're still listing that kind of stuff, be careful. Maybe change kind of the direction of things that you're choosing to list. I tell you what, hanging out with Mikey and Sunny, they are so picky about what they pick up to actually list in their store. And I'm actually learning to be a little bit more discriminating from them. My new direction for my store is to only list things that can also cross post over to cherish.com. But just be careful. Use those items you want to, and I like to call it liquidate versus cull. The things you want to liquidate, use them as loss leaders. You've already done the work to list them. So maybe use them as a way to draw people into your store. Let's see. I'm going a little quick. I might miss something, but I want to kind of get caught up. Yeah, you guys, I'm only to the point where I went away for just a little bit. Am I understanding your store concept? Is it part thrift store, nonprofit, and part booth selling your stuff for profit? Yes. So there's 4 rooms. Like the majority of it is thrift store, but there are 4. I say 4. There's 4 and 1 small room that will be rented out, including me. I'm renting the space from the thrift store because the thrift store is its own DBA, and so my utterly good business is going to rent space from the Good Stuff thrift store. For the accounting purposes, it's money going in there that offsets the costs over there. So I'm also going to be renting that space and getting paid when stuff sells, same as all the other people who are going to be in there. Sorry, guys. I'm so sorry that it cut out, and I hope it doesn't do it again. My wonky internet. What do you think if you offer a coupon for those who bring their shopping carts back in the store, a small coupon? We will not have shopping carts. We will have like handheld carts like they use at like estate sales, but no shopping carts. Yes, we will do live sales. How does combined shipping on Whatnot work? Do they set the price? They do set the price. So after your first item, after the first item that's purchased, then it's like a discounted shipping rate. I cannot wait. Excuse me, guys. I cannot wait to talk to the people from Whatnot that will be at the Boss Reseller Remix in person, face to face, and talk about the shipping thing. I am really hoping to pitch my idea of don't charge the shipping until the end of the sale. When you see how much somebody's purchased, then and only then let that shipping be charged. I'm sure they could do it that way. Or something, or at least give us the ability to issue a refund on a monstrous amount of overpaid shipping, but something, because the shipping thing really kind of bugs me. How do you use social media to promote your online stores? So here's the thing about marketing is you can't just you can't just say, I have this for sale, come buy it. Can't do that. People simply won't buy. You have to give them a reason to want to come back and see what you're doing. If you're selling home decor, show examples of cool vignettes and ways that things are used in a home decor setting. If you sell men's belts, then talk about, I don't know, the different leathers that belts are made of, or the different styles of belts. Like, give them information that makes them want to come over, read something, and then they're like, oh yeah, and they sell belts, kind of thing. It's marketing. Marketing is like a whole thing in itself, and I will probably be talking about marketing next Monday with Jordan, because that's kind of her thing. So make sure you come back next Monday and we'll talk more about marketing. All right. The question is, who will be singing tonight? Is that a rhetorical question? Am I back? Did anybody stick around to see if I was going to come back? Oh my gosh. This is horrible. Horrible. So I have completely lost my place in line of where I was, but yes, it must be your fault, Mikey. Oh my goodness. All right. I'm going to just kind of scroll back this way. Mikey's question broke the internet. Yeah, this is so frustrating, guys. And they're telling me it could be a week before it gets fixed. So now, as if I didn't have enough to do, I need to go on the warpath with Cox Cable and tell them this cannot wait a week. This needs to be fixed by Friday because I have a live sale to do on Friday. And this just cannot be happening because this is how I make my living. Holy molykins. How many items do you list daily on eBay and which eBay store do you have? Okay, so my eBay is severely neglected because of everything else I've got going on. But here is what I advise and here's what I know works. You want to list at least 2 listings a day. At least 2 a day. Don't do them all on Sunday or all on one day of the week. 2 listings a day, consistency, and you will see results from that. I personally have the premium store, but if I don't get my butt listing, then I'm going to downgrade because it just doesn't make sense. But the basic store is good for a long time for most sellers. Oh my gosh, I am so frustrated. So frustrated. Yep, it's not even in the house. Like they came out on Friday and then Saturday and then Sunday, and they were here this morning, and that's when they finally diagnosed that it's an issue out at the street with the signal that's coming from the street to another place. So, so frustrating. How do you handle someone that lowballs you on a small, cheaper item? Don't sell small, cheap items. You said it yourself. It's a cheaper item. So either don't have best offer on it or be ready to take low offers. If it's a cheap items are going to attract a cheap buyer. Like if you've got the bargain shopper, if you got the person looking for something cheap, then that's what's going to happen. Set yourself up. If it frustrates you, then don't sell those type of items or just do it as fixed price with no best offer. Thank you guys for waiting for me. I appreciate that. Are there any selling platforms that don't require a credit card to pay their fees? I don't think so. That's pretty much the way that I don't know how else they would do it. Like they have to have something on file in order to get paid. Where do you go to check if someone already has a business name that you were hoping to use? Your state registry. And then from there, I don't know if there's like a national registry. There might be. But we just checked through our the local setup for getting a DBA. Will you have areas that people can place their stuff if it doesn't fit in the handheld? Yes. Oh, absolutely. We're going to be all about taking. I had to think about what that meant for a minute. But yeah, we're going to take care of customers. Yes, yes, yes. Personal treatment. I'm going to have more gray hair after this show today. Yes, indeed, I am. Yes, indeed, I am. Goodness gracious. All right. Are Sunny and Mikey going to get spaces there? I don't know. I don't know. Announcements will be coming soon, guys. Announcements will be coming very, very soon. I have been filming the whole process as we go. So there will be a whole video dedicated to the opening of the store and who's going to be there and what's going to be happening. Indeed, indeed. Yeah, don't you just love cable companies? Don't you just love it? Like I pay for 2 accounts here. 2. Count it 2. Which is like it's about $300 a month I pay to have good internet service here. I pay for the Gigablast, the whole thing, and then this happens and they can't get it fixed. I mean, I'm told it's 5 to 7 days to get it fixed, which is just unacceptable. It's unacceptable. Question, what not wants a picture of my inventory? Does that mean I have to unwrap everything? Here we are again. I'm actually texting the tech who was here this morning. All right. All right. I just texted him to let him know what's going on. Oh, they're going to credit me. Oh, they're going to credit me big time. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm here, Lisa. I'm here. I'm back. I mean, I don't even know what's going on. It's something crazy. I'm almost wondering if the neighbors, when they're building something. Oh my gosh. That's only my house and their house that's affected by it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, you guys, you're the best. Wow. You guys, thank you so much. Frustrations happen. They happen. They're out of our control. Ellen, Hudson Vintage, Ellen, Ladybug, GTV, Melissa, Karen, Michelle. Oh my gosh, you guys. Thank you. Yeah. Well, I did not get to all of your questions, I know, but please leave them in the comments once this live is done, and I will answer as quickly as I can and get to those. Unfortunately, I may not be able to do my whatnot sale today, but maybe that's a sign. Maybe it's a sign that I'm just supposed to just take the rest of this afternoon and enjoy it with my daughter. I don't know. I am going to go talk to the cable company, and we're going to have a little discussion. Yes, we are. All right, everyone. I'm going to wrap it up while I still have internet to wrap it up with. So thank you all for being here, for hanging out, for sticking it out with me. And with that, go be profitable and make it fun. Right, Bougie? Right. Yeah. All right, everyone. See you on the next one.